Okay, and we are live. I was having some audio problems. Hopefully, I got that all sorted out here and you can hear me. If somebody would give me the thumbs up here if you can hear me. That'd be great. Let me take a second here and get everything set up. This is kind of spur of the moment. Read an article here that triggered me, so I thought I better go live and whine about it, right? But yeah, so Connecticut can't get enough of your money. Let's give it a second here. Maybe get a couple people in here. We'll talk about it. Tony Horton first announced. Thanks for coming in. Says, "Am I the first for your live?" You are. You are Tony Horton, and thanks for doing it. All right, you can hear me. Good deal. Good deal. Let me bring up this article I was reading here. If I can find it in my email. If I was any kind of professional, I'd have had this ready already. So the title I got here is Connecticut looking to create a highway use tax on heavy trucks. Now most people probably know it's already pretty much been done. I'm gonna read right from some excerpts here, and we'll talk about it a little bit. So it says Connecticut legislature passes highway usage tax on heavy trucks, and you can go on to read the whole bill. Who can read any of that mess mumbo jumbo? Anyways, it says the Connecticut General Assembly has passed HB 6688, a bill that imposes a highway use tax on every carrier for operating or causing to be operated certain heavy multi-unit motor vehicles, class 8 through 13, on any highway, not just limited access highways in the state. So the bill now heads to Governor Ned Lamont for signature into law. When signed, it becomes law effective January 1st of 2023. There's no reason to think this would not be signed. I wouldn't be surprised if it already has. It says the highway use tax is calculated based on a vehicle's weight and the number of miles driven in the state. So it'd be similar to New York's weight distance tax or New Mexico's weight distance tax. It would probably function quite the same. The bill establishes per mile tax rates that increase based on vehicle gross weight, ranging from 2.5 cents per mile for vehicles weighing 26 to 28,000 pounds, up to 17.5 cents per mile for vehicles weighing more than 80,000 pounds. So most of us, tractor trailer, we'll fall somewhere in the middle of there. I have not yet seen a table saying what we will be charged for your regular tractor trailer. Take a look at that when I see it. It says revenue from the tax is directed to the Special Transportation Fund, called the STF. If I may add to that, sidebar, Your Honor, little editorial here. Let's reread that and translate it to English. Revenue from the state tax is directed to the Special Transportation Fund. Now, what that really means is it will go to the Special Transportation Fund and likely be distributed to, I don't know, probably some favored contractors' pockets, maybe some politicians. We'll take some out of there and spend it for anything but transportation. Probably give a little bit to schools, maybe some social programs, and there might be, I don't know, 5 cents out of every dollar collected, maybe left to fix the highways that they're collecting this tax for. That's kind of how it works typically. The money is just because it goes in the Special Transportation Fund. I would be very surprised if a good bit of it is spent on transportation. Usually, money like this goes into the general fund, and it can just be spent on whatever. But who knows? Maybe they will stick some money into the road. Does anybody believe that this is going to make the roads in Connecticut so much better, so much better? Oh, we got some people in here now. We got old school, new school, close to the beginning. Thanks for coming in, John Connolly, D. Compton, B. Saunders, Sterling's checking in from Parowan, Utah. The old stomping grounds. Used to hang out there quite a bit. Nomadic Brit. Oh, that's very telling. Nomadic Brit immigrated here from Europe and says should have stayed British, paid less tax. Oh man, we have. So Brit, are you saying that we have become what we fought a war to break away from? Man, grade 8 transportation. Thanks for coming in. Says good evening, good afternoon. I'm busy. Says crazy. Jerome Jones in the house. Thanks for coming in. Let me continue on reading here a little bit. Uh, so it says this: the Special Transportation Fund is dedicated fund used to finance the state transportation infrastructure program and operate the departments of motor vehicles and transportation. The law requires that specified tax revenue and various transportation related fees, fines, and charges be credited to the STF, but it doesn't say they have to be spent for that purpose. Um, Now, I heard a statement that state of Connecticut said that they needed to do this because trucking causes the majority of damage to their roads in the state of Connecticut. Well, yeah, it's kind of how it works, but we already pay for that. We pay, federal fuel taxes, we pay state fuel taxes in every state, and we have completely lost sight in this country of what the interstate highway system in this country was designed for. It was part of national defense and interstate commerce. That's we we have one could make the case that we have primary right to be on those highways. That's what it was designed for, is interstate commerce and national defense. And one could make a case that we have a more of a right to be on the interstate highway system than any car does. But that all gets lost over time. It's Eisenhower. It was originally called the Eisenhower Interstate System. That's when that started. But anyway, let's read a little bit more. So we cause the damage. Hey, we also pay for it. This is not something that you collect money already for. Connecticut connects money for fuel tax, license plate, all kinds of things. Now they're going to add this weight distance tax on there. Just another hand in your wallet, really. It says under the bill, carriers must file returns and remit the tax to the Department of Revenue Services, the DRS, on a monthly basis. So this is something if you're a carrier, if you have your own authority, you're gonna have to file this monthly. That's an undue burden. That's ridiculous. When you're starting out with Oregon, you're a monthly filer, and after a period of time, you move to a quarterly filer. I'm a quarterly filer right now, and the state of New York, you start off as a quarterly. I just got moved to a yearly filer. To file monthly is it's excessive and it's ridiculous. It's an undue burden. That's adds to the ridiculousness of this. Where did I leave off? Okay, the bill requires carriers to obtain HUT permits, would be highway use tax permits, from the DRS, and establishes procedures for suspending or revoking them. It also applies to the HUT various collection, enforcement, and appeals process provisions that apply to other taxes under the existing law. Okay, I would like to know what those other taxes under the existing law are. We should add those up, all the taxes we pay as a trucker sometime. Boy, that would be one hell of a project. Add up all the different taxes we pay, and then the cost. Man, the tax to death. The bill exempts from the HUT, from the highway use tax, the United States, the federal government, and the state or any of its political subdivisions and motor vehicles carrying or transporting milk or dairy products to or from a dairy farm that holds a license to ship milk. So if you are the federal government or any kind of state vehicle, you don't have to pay the tax. That's ridiculous. They don't even have to, they're not even held to pay their own tax. That is absolutely ridiculous. So Connecticut-based carriers are going to get hammered. Wow. Wow. It says the bill requires each carrier to apply to DRS for a HUT permit. It prohibits carriers from operating, causing to be operated, any eligible motor vehicle in the state without a HUT permit on or after 1st of January 2023. And as these things come out, I imagine I will probably pull these permits, probably make some videos on it, how to do it. It's going to be new to everybody, but hopefully it's not all that complicated. The DRS must grant and issue a permit to carrier upon receiving its fully completed application. The permit is valid only for the carrier to which it is issued and the eligible motor vehicles the carrier operates or causes to be operated and not assignable. This means you can't transfer that permit to somebody else. It is estimated that the new fee will generate about $45 million in revenue in 2023 and $90 million each year after. His opponents warning that the tax will increase the prices of consumer goods and will fall unfairly on Connecticut-based trucking. Well, so how do you go from in the first year $45 million to $90 million every year after? Are they intending on doubling the tax after the first year? Do they think they're going to have trouble enforcing it? How do you double it in 1 year? Or estimate that you will double it. I would like to know that. They're saying it will increase the price of consumer goods and will unfairly fall on Connecticut-based trucking. Yeah, I agree. Connecticut-based trucking is going to get punished the hardest. Increasing the cost of goods, I doubt it. I think carriers are going to be forced to eat this, just like every other tax. I don't think one can make the case that the New Mexico tax increases the price of goods in New Mexico, or that because not every load that passes through Connecticut gets delivered in Connecticut. So you can't make the case that those goods are going to increase. They don't understand known logic. Because with the weight distance tax, you pay that tax just via traveling through the state. It makes no difference if that load originated or finals in the state. So I think they're really missing the mark on that one. But what do y'all think about that? How many more hands do you need in your pocket before before you take a personal stand? Let's get on to some more comments here. Killian's Trucking. Oh no, got 180 gallons of fuel stole yesterday in Morris, Illinois at the TA. Ruined my whole damn week. Locking fuel caps now installed. Oh no, Killian's Trucking. I'm sorry to hear that, man. What was a truck left unattended there? Were you there with it? Whew. That's 180 gallons. Let me do some dirty math on that. 180. You're probably, we'll say $5.50 a gallon, roughly on average. I don't know where you bought it. 990. Call it $1,000. $990. Damn. If you were intending on having a short week, that could be your whole paycheck for the week, man. You just work the whole week for free, but I'm sure you've already thought about all these things. I don't need to. I'm not trying to step on you while you're down. Sterling says if there was only a lobbying group for trucking that would keep everything on the federal instead of letting states affect commerce. That's not going to happen. None of the lobbying groups in trucking are on your side. Not a one of them. Certainly not the ATA. They are 100% against you. And the other ones are largely in it to line their own pockets. Malcolm James says, greedy folks. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That is insane. Highway robbery. The thing in Massachusetts isn't over yet with the sales tax. I talked about that a while back, where they wanted, if you pass through the state of Massachusetts even 1 mile, you will owe sales tax on your vehicle in that state. Doesn't matter if you already paid sales tax somewhere else, you'll pay a balance, a prorated rate. That's a ridiculous law too. But that battle's not over yet, as far as I know. JD Jeff's in Nashville. Thanks for coming in. Killian's Trucking. He went in for breakfast with a full tank, came out 40 minutes later on empty. He was like, damn it, boy. Do they have any of that on camera? Killian's Trucking? Or, I mean, even if you can get a picture of the truck, hell, you get a picture of that truck, send it to me, and I'll put it in a community post. Somebody's going to know who that was. So you look into that. We'll as a group here try to find this son of. I hate a thief, man. I hate a thief. They can make me cuss, man. Let's find that guy. Get some pictures. Get some information. Major transport. Okay. Oh, Roger Moore in the house. Don't forget all the administrative fees that will be required to run the program. 30 new state employees will also need to be hired. Yeah, that's the dirty little secret of these government or mostly state programs. and you'll find this to be true, especially in the smaller states, where you run a DMV. Say, just take the DM. We're going to pick on the DMV for a minute. They collect X number of $1 million a year, and it costs X number of $1 million a year to run the program. Oftentimes, especially in the smaller states, the cost of running that department will exceed their revenue. So why have the damn department? You're creating bureaucracy for the sake of creating bureaucracy. I wouldn't. Would anybody be surprised if it costs more than $48 million to administer this highway use tax program in the state of Connecticut? And if it does, why have it? It's a net loss for the state. It's absolutely ridiculous. But hey, we're just the peasants. We're just supposed to pay for it. Well, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. You know, a lot of people take a hard stance on California, or insert state here, New York. You know, don't go to New York or the East Coast for paying the tolls. Tolls are a tax. It is a tax. That's the other thing. If you take a state like Pennsylvania, one of the highest fuel taxes in the country, also the most expensive toll road in the world. They're knocking heads off with toll fees. Their whole highway system ought to be paid for by those toll roads, and yet one of the highest fuel taxes in the nation, some of the highest taxes in the nation. It's insane. You really sit down and think about all the taxes you pay, and then where does the money go? Mr. Moody doesn't go to Connecticut anymore. I think a lot of people are going to take that stance. Oh, with both feet dropping in. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Snorlord's in here. Hey, buddy. Thanks for coming in. Been enjoying your morning live streams. I have to keep popping in and out though, because we're it's business hours, and we gotta. Okay, that one's okay. We got to keep an eye on the messages here. Oh, Sterling, thank you, sir. $5 super chat. Seems like they are putting the con in Connecticut. Oh, that's what you come here for, folks. The low quality, highbrow entertainment. John Connor says, charge for air next. Malloy ruined this state. Hey, that's part of the carbon taxes and all these green taxes and your global warming taxes and blah. Yes. I got to say, it's probably a thing somewhere. Would anybody be surprised? Oh, Red Diesel's in the house. Thanks for coming in. I'm busy says he doesn't go to Connecticut all that much. I would say we don't really that much either, but like these taxes can have a disproportionate effect. Like the Massachusetts sales tax issue. Like I said, if you traveled 1 mile in that state, you're subject to that tax. But at least this one is, hey, you don't go, you don't pay. And that's going to be a hard one to avoid if you're running that northeast corridor out there. A lot of trucks pass through there, man. I still don't understand how they think they're going to double it in 1 year unless they're going to double the tax. In which case, watch out. So if you're over 80,000 pounds and you're 17.5 cents, you're gonna 35 cents a mile to pass. Luckily, it's only 100 miles across the state, depending on which route you're taking, north to south. Oh yeah, everybody's feeling bad about Killian's. Killian's, you're gonna have to. I guess you're gonna have to do a GoFundMe. Another gentleman was doing a GoFundMe trying to raise some fuel money. What do you need? $10,000 for fuel money? I had to. Well, I gotta say I didn't laugh at that. I thought that was pretty sad. But oh, Bull of the Woods in here. What's up? Thanks for coming in. Steve Fanslow, thanks for coming in. Andrew says a lot of people will stop taking loads to Connecticut. Yeah, I gotta say, I think at first they will, and then after the shock and awe wears off, I think it'll be just like anything else with, people still take loads to New York. They got a wait distance and tolls. Same, Massachusetts has got tolls and that sales tax bull crap. Like we already talked about Pennsylvania. New Mexico has a wait distance. Kentucky, Oregon has an expensive wait distance. Plenty of people still travel there, so I think the burden is going to be pressed on the trucking company, and they'll be expected to eat it. I don't think it's going to change things. It doesn't now. When you have a load, say they want you to pick up a load in Philly and go to Ohio, where you're pretty compelled to go across the thruway. Nobody wants to kick in a couple $100 extra for the tollway, right? Or if they want to send you out to Long Island with a load, they don't want to add a couple $100 on for those toll bridges. When things change and freight is back in our favor, you'll be able to tack on that kind of thing. But right now, I mean, it's tough. It's tough to be able to, like, you can say I charge this, I charge that. Well, charge what you want, get somebody to pay it. That's the thing. Charging it and collecting are largely different things. Excuse me. Snorlord says 90 million and the roads will still suck. That's absolutely true, because how do you fix the roads in Connecticut? They are so busy. You can't you can't largely just close large sections of the highway and work on them for any kind of period of time. You will just wreck everything out there. It's bad enough the way it is with the roads open. Uh, JD Jeff says most lobby groups use their positions to take advantage over smaller companies. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I'm busy says if they want it, locks ain't going to stop them. That's true, but my thought was, well, a couple thoughts is, if it has locks, they're going to have to get through those locks. So either they're going to beat something through them, or they're going to drill through them. Either of which, if I'm sleeping, should wake me up. You can siphon tanks pretty quietly with a hose and put the pump a little bit of distance away. But yeah, I just want an opportunity to catch them. Same with the anti-siphon devices. You can get in there. You could work your way through those anti-siphon screens, but you're going to probably make some noise doing it. Locks locks only keep honest people out. Yeah, yeah, that's absolutely true. Man, cargo theft is through the roof. I've been getting different literature from my insurance company. They're like, hey, you guys, we haven't had any cargo theft, but they're like, you guys got to have some procedures in place to prevent this, because it's epidemic. It's epidemic. And I've always kind of like, I always padlock my trailers. Everything absolutely gets sealed, 100% seals. But I always want a padlock on there too. In the past, I've always thought, if there's a padlock on there, if they can't cut it, they might come looking for me for the key. And I'm like, my life ain't worth what's in that trailer. But I've found that they just move on to the next trailer. Thieves are lazy. They're lazy. Oh, Ryan Brandenburg in the house. Good day, sir. Thanks for taking time out from counting your money, Brandon. Ryan Brandenburg, to come in here and participate with us. I know you got a huge stack of money to count every week. Killian's Trucking said the left side of the parking lot isn't on camera. Where my truck was parked had the police and everything involved. Lesson learned. Oh, you can't be 100% sure of where the cameras are at all time, man. Don't beat yourself up. I mean, plus sometimes it's the only spots open, but that's a big truck stop. They should have cameras facing every aspect of that truck stop. That's kind of ridiculous. And don't they have patrol there too? Don't they have if I remember right, don't they have the car that drives around that and monitors that parking lot? If I remember. With both feet says Connecticut and Mass shouldn't be too hard to avoid. Cut the independents willing to go there and let the megas have them. Open some lanes elsewhere. Yeah, but I mean, a lot of independents. That's a largely populated area up there. A lot of independents live there. A lot of them. A lot of power only stuff up there with that Amazon business and a lot of other things going on up there. CPAP trucker in the house. Thanks for coming in. Jackknife TV says, "What's What's the crazy anti-friction additive you speak about? I think you might have to something to test it on. It's made by Fuel Ox. It is the liquid friction eliminator. Yeah, I was watching your video today with your cam lobe like that. I'd be inclined to give it a try. Uh, I would be less likely to. Well, I know you put a gallon of Lucas in there every oil change. Well, at any rate, I would give it a try. I think that the Lucas probably goes the opposite direction of what you want to keep that problem from getting worse because it thickens a little bit and the oil's not going to flow as much. But nothing can make metal grow back. You know, if you got a cam that's getting pitting on it, short of replacing that cam, nothing is going to make that metal grow back. So I mean, you try to stretch it out, and whatever happens happens. I don't know that there's any way you're going to prevent the inevitable outcome of that cam wearing. But hey, worth a shot. Grafton in the house. Thanks for coming in. Well, there you go. With both feet, he's already on it. Says Fuel Locks promo code DIY Semi for 15% off. New product coming out, by the way, with them. We'll probably talk about it when it comes out. I will just say I was ahead of the curve on that one. I didn't know anything about it. Sterling says, can all us small independent companies unite under a common authority, start a hedge fund, put it in the river? We're going to need like the Nile or the Ganges River. I don't think the Mississippi is going to hold all those trucks. Plus, we need to go to Access Point. I'm thinking ocean for that one. Maybe off the, what's that big bridge, that Chesapeake Bay Bridge out there in Virginia? That's a big old stretch of bridge. I actually saw a truck that went over that one time. He was out there, and the top of his trailer was above water. No, that wasn't Chesapeake Bay. That was in Bradenton, Florida. We got that long bridge down there by Bradenton, Sarasota. I forget exact which town it's in. And the top of his trailer was above water, and then like the top of his sleeper in the stack, it was some kind of navy blue truck. But he was right. He was out there, man. That's far from shore. And he was out in the bridge area, and I'm like, how in the hell are they going to get him out of there? Hopefully he doesn't have something in there that's get waterlogged. They'll never lift him out of there. But they ain't going to leave it sit there because that is an environmental hazard. Got to check my text messages here. All right, we're all good. Mark M says, dangle enough carrots in front of them, they'll go up there. Okay. All right. Killian's, there you go. Killian's, you start your GoFundMe and drop a link. Hey, what the hell? I know Cash says he's going to start a GoFundMe for a fishing boat. I'm going to have to come up. What could be my GoFundMe? What could be my GoFundMe? Ain't nothing I need. With both feet says after several more states get the weight distance tax, so it will level the field and won't have to take it. Well, that's not the kind of level playing field we're looking for, is it? There's more money. Ugh, jeez. Taxes. Is there anything that can put you in a crappy mood faster than taxes? Jack Connor says Lamont wants to put a whole new toll system in Connecticut. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Before you know it, it's just going to be multiple states in a row with tolls that you can't get out of, and your rolling toll rate is going to be 50 cents a mile before you know it. By the time you do the tolls and the stupid weight distance taxes and all the other stuff. Killian's Trucking got a green APU installed this week. Okay. How do you like that? How you liking that green APU? Is it everything they squawk about it that it is? Jack Connor says whole. You mean the whole? Are you talking about the whole state? Oh, okay, a whole new system. All right, I got you. With both feet says locks are there to make them go to the next guy. Thieves like easy targets. Yeah. I would tend to agree. They don't want to make a lot of noise and get caught. I had one of my reefer trailers dropped at the local truck stop here, and I went. It was there for I don't know a week and a half or so because I had this extra trailer, didn't need it. Went back to check on it one day, and the doggone fuel cap is gone off it. Now you gotta, they don't just fall off. They got that thing, you gotta yank it out. they didn't steal all the fuel. It was like a quarter tank lower than what it was when I left it there. So I wonder if they got interrupted. But damn it, take my fuel, but leave my fuel cap. Come on. Hate having to buy that fuel cap. Hurt my pride. Uh, I'm busy trucking says, hope they do. All right. Mark M says, I'm installing a 4-camera system on the truck, and the reverse camera will also be recording with a blinking red light. Yeah, did you guys see that video from, well, it was on Asian Mai, but it was Vic Med's truck. Had a car come screaming up behind his truck and rear end him and just flip all over the damn place. Man, he had to be getting it to do that. But them cameras, man, they can save your butt. I should have. We have dash cams now, but I should have that camera system. But that's just so much money to spend, and then you're changing trailers. It can get kind of tough. Old school says some actually take the time to pick the locks. All right. Is that kind of that intelligent criminal that actually has a skill? Uh, you know, picking on trucks. I suppose there's valuable cargo in there. I suppose you're probably right. I hope they pick that lock and open up the trailer to a load of scrap paper, then turn around with a 12 gauge, looking them in the eye. Ryan Brandenburg says I'd offer weekly fuel surcharge reports to the show, but I'd be one hated son of a bitch. Hey, you get that. You get every penny you can, Ryan. That's what it's all about. Just you just got to tell me where you work, and then so I'll come work there with you. With both eats says these aren't necessarily lazy. Some of them work way harder to be a d bag than if they just got a job. Yeah, but you can work. You could work at a job, probably end up in the long term same amount of money and not have to go to jail, unless you're a truck driver. You gotta believe a thief is eventually going to get caught. You would think, but probably not. A lot of them making a good long career out of it. Shop fee says it's barely noon and I already have some man boob sweat going on. Damn it, boy! You need some what do they call it? Gold bonds powder that turn it into paste. Sterling says Vic Med likes his cameras. Yeah, he does. Oh, we got the messages coming in. What do we got here? All right, we're good. Waiting on some rate confirmations to show up. Got a couple trucks. I'm getting back off the East Coast tomorrow, and I need the rate cons for that, sir. Trucking with MC says, hello, everyone. Thanks for coming in. I'm busy trucking says, friction stuff works great. Just added it to my oil change remittent. What do you mean? What does remittent mean? I don't know. Contact Trucking Inc. says, what's the best fuel discount card? That depends. I'm a big fan of having multiple ways to buy fuel and shop them around against each other every time you go to fill up. Obviously, MUDFLAP's a good one. It's free. Everybody should have it. It costs nothing, even if you don't ever use it. Just have it so you can check prices. But definitely use it though. Make sure. Oh yeah, make sure you use a DIY Semi promo code. You'll get $10 in free fuel when you sign up. But I run a ComData card and an EFS card. It's not the card that gives you the discount. It's the network you link it to. So XPO has a good fuel network. If you've ever used XPO as a brokerage, you can get on their fuel card. That's a good network. NASTC, NASTC, National Association of Small Trucking Companies. They give a pretty decent fuel discount. They link theirs to EFS. It's a cost plus program. They've kind of irritated. I just quit NASTC because their fees are starting to really tick me off. And last few times I called them for something, they just acted like they had no desire to even talk to me. So you don't get to have me as a member anymore. Let's see. Just about every brokerage or association out there has their own fuel discount. If you use Robinson a lot, they have a decent one. But yeah, XPO is a really good one. NASTC has a good fuel card. that TVC Pro driver has a fuel card with decent discounts, and then that somebody help me out. What is it? TCS, TDS, I think it's TCS has a decent fuel card. You got an email last week from that A2B credit card. They want me to promote it. I'm not doing that. Their basic discount is 5 cents a gallon, and they say at some stops you can earn up to 20 to 25 cents a gallon. To me, that's not enough. You find yourself a cost plus card, that's what XPO is, and there's plenty of them out there. You just gotta, and then have multiple ones. Don't be afraid to carry 2, 3 different fuel cards, because wholesale prices change, even substantially station to station. Maybe one card is based on TA Petro, and one card's Pilot Flying J. Wholesale pricing can change day to day, and they don't always adjust the pump price to keep with it. So one day to day, they might switch back and forth who has a better deal. No loyalty when it comes to fuel discounts, but hey, if you can't get a fuel card due to credit, or you don't believe them, you don't want the hassle, MUDFLAP is always a great option. And sometimes they're cheapest, sometimes they're not, but use them when they're the cheapest. Absolutely. There'll be a link in the description with this video. With both feet says my alternator bearing went out yesterday, and I doused it with Fuel Hawk super spray to get me to the parts store and to the shop. It did quiet down for a bit, 4 hours, and back on the road. Well, good. You stayed away from that service truck. Having to have a service truck come out. That sucks. That really sucks. Been using that spray on the fifth wheel too. Kind of like that. GoFundMe DIY truck stop sounds good. Hey, I could use my own truck stop. That'd be awesome. We could just sit there like Asian Mai's got that place in the Chrome shop down there. We could sit in the truck stop and talk to people all day. Although nobody's gonna want to stop to talk to me. He's got much better personality than I do. Jack Connor says they never stop here. Yeah, that Northeast, man, they never met a tax they don't like, do they? They fancy themselves. We're the flyover country in the middle of the country. Yet most of our states have the healthiest economies. On the coast, the extreme coast, either one way or the other, they fancy themselves, more educated and civilized. Yet they can never manage their finances. Georgia Patriot says, here's some free lead to go with your free fuel. Yeah, we'll call it a lead-based fuel program. Georgia Patriot says, Asian Mai just dropped another video today that shows necessity for dash cams. Pick up locked up brakes and cross the center line, hitting semi head on. Ooh. Wow. You could save yourself from a manslaughter charge, right? Chances are somebody's got that on camera somewhere, but try to get them to pull over, right? And yeah, I had a driver got hit. It was not at highway speed. It was surface road, and the guy in an oncoming pickup fell asleep and came across the center line and hit my guy. Started, at the front steer tire, went all the way down the side of the truck, got the drive tires, front shoulder of the trailer, the skirt, and then the rims on the trailer bent them in half. Saved the tires, but bent those aluminum rims and had to have a service truck come out and fix it on the spot. And our driver didn't get any kind of citation. No, nothing. It was 100% the other guy's fault. So, thankfully the guy admitted it. But that still goes on your record. That's on my safety record as a major accident, and it carries the same weight on there as if it was our fault. That really sucks. That irritates the crap out of me, because they don't put that information on there for people to see. It just shows that a major accident with a vehicle towed is on there. That sucks. Ryan says, I pulled cheese out of Wisconsin. Call me the cheese smuggler. Yeah, we do a little bit of that too. I think I probably know where you're leased on, but we don't need to disclose that. And I think I pull some loads for the same company, but that's okay. Yeah, that cheese out of Wisconsin. That's good freight, man. It's good freight. Red Diesel says it likes Nastic. Yeah, I don't mind them. They just irritated me wrong with the what was I paying? I'd been a member for a very long time. I think I was paying 2.25 for my yearly fee, and they wanted to more than double that. And then $36 a month for each fuel card. East Texas trucker in the house says just passed all his endorsement tests first try. All right, got a hazmat tanker, doubles, triples now. Good deal. Good thing to have. Good things to have. Uh, Locksmiths rob you legally if you call them at night or the weekends, Dutch says. Yeah, or they will wreck your truck. I had 2 drivers lock themselves out. One of them twice in the same day. First, they wrecked the driver's side door. Then they wrecked the passenger side door. They put that wedge in there and they bow the door out. Damn things have never closed right since. And then on another truck, they got him the same way. Wrecked his door. I don't know why they can't come up with a better technique than that. They're locksmiths. They're supposed to be able to freaking get in through the lock. Ryan says team trucks at Badger State Western are grossing big money. Buddy of his netted 14 grand on a 5-day turn after percentage and fuel. Damn. Yeah, I hear they do well up there, but I think I remember you're not there anymore. I think you went somewhere else, if I remember right. Call Badger State. They're always looking for trucks. Yep. Georgia Patriot says, yep, in the video, the truck driver said one of the 2 in the pickup died. Oof. Ooh, that ain't good. You don't ever want to be involved in an accident where somebody died. Very good a friend of mine had that happen to him once, and it was not his fault. And that'll change your life. Not for the better either. Not for the better. Even if it's not your fault. With both feet says, have a great day. I'll watch the rest on the replay. Surgeon is coming in to tell us how my daughter's pedicure went. You got to get sedated for a pedicure nowadays? What's up with that? Shapinzi Production says def shortage coming soon. Yeah, from what I understand, they're saying June, July, August is about the time that's all supposed to kind of hit the fan. Not looking forward to that. Don't know how. A couple of my drivers have already come across fuel stops where they didn't have any def. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. Was able to find it elsewhere, but I tell you what, this country runs out of def. I'm going to go out with my orange Schneider truck, and I'm going to make all kinds of money hauling freight. Not that I want that to happen. I hope that never happens, because if we don't have def, we got a lot of problems to come with it. Def is used in farming, fertilizer. All right, broker says those rate cons are coming soon. Awesome. And how are we gonna get that food transported before it rots without def? I don't necessarily believe they would just say go delete all the trucks. I don't know if they're not that competent or have the wherewithal. Ryan says no def, no food. You got that right, Ryan. You're from up here. You know all that farming depends on def as well. All them new tractors have def, new combines, farm equipment, and 'tis the season up here in the Midwest and in the Great Lakes. 'Tis the season to be out in the field. We've been getting a lot of rain here, so it's making that produce grow. So we'll have some freight to haul up here pretty soon. That's going to be awesome. Yeah. So yeah, Connecticut sucks. We all knew that. Can't get enough of your money, and stick them up. When you pass into Connecticut now, the new sign, where it say, "Welcome to Missouri, the Show Me State." Just come into Connecticut, it says, "Welcome to Connecticut." Hands in the air. Give me your wallet. Stick them up. Oh, the chat jumped on me again. Doggone it. Shapinzi Production says just deprogram the truck computer. Yeah, but I mean, It's a lot of times not that simple. It's not that simple. Will they authorize for that to be done? That's nobody knows. Nobody knows. I mean, California certainly won't do it. Look at the last 2 years, how bad they were dying for trucks, and they wouldn't ease up on any of their regulations. Georgia Patriot says if there's no DEF, then I guess that shuts down 100% of trucks in Cali, right? You would think so. They haven't flexed on anything else. Any of the other carb rules, things like that. Ryan says I reside north of Highway 29. Wish I could never go south of there. You like the snow. You like that snow, Ryan, don't you? Andrew McGlynn says, shout out from Connecticut, born and raised here. Worst place to truck, though. Yeah, Connecticut is busy, man. I don't like, I mean, just it's just too hustle and bustle for me. Same with Massachusetts. Well, Western Mass is pretty nice, though. It's not quite as busy out there. East Texas says, remember that video Asian Mai had of the Pilot Flying J CEO saying Union Pacific restricted their DEF capacity by 55%? Makes no sense. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of blame to go around. Western Pacific is the only importer of urea, incidentally, from Russia and India. Flying J is the main distributor in the U.S. Okay. Why can't we make that here? That doesn't sound too complicated, but I don't know. I'm not a chemist. No, it's not just urine. You can't just pee in your tank. You will destroy your truck. Yes, there's urea in it, but I'll tell you what, there's also not. There's also not a whole bunch of things that are in your urine. Trucker in Reverse says, start stocking up on box DEF. Yeah, I was doing that for a while. The Mac dealer network around me had box DEF for, was it $7.99 a box? So we bought like a bunch of boxes, had them in the shed. We should go through that pretty quick. But had a little less emissions problems doing that. Controlled demolition in progress. Yeah, yeah. I'm buying some of that. What you're selling, but we definitely have some problems. It's just one thing after another in trucking, isn't it? DEF, fuel, rates, tax after tax after tax, tolls, equipment prices, part shortages. It's difficult to maneuver all this right now, especially for the little guy. You don't have the resources. Boy, howdy, would it be nice to have the resources of a Schneider or a Swift or whatever, but then I wouldn't want to pay those bills either. Um, East Texas trucker, because globalization is in the future. Yes, you're absolutely right. Georgia Patriot said, did you see the feds busted 37 for staging truck crashes in Louisiana? Saw it on Steve Leto channel today. I happen to watch Steve Leto from time to time. I did not see that, but good for them, man. If you whatever happened to the law of interfering with interstate commerce? They're so quick to use every other damn law in trucking. How about we use that one on these protesters that want to block highways, on these people staging accidents, on all kinds of other things. You're interfering with interstate commerce. I believe that's a felony, if I'm not mistaken. But it's not convenient. Just Ryan says, if you buy your own bulk DEF and consistently use it, you'll have less emissions problems, less contamination from tank transfers. Yeah, I don't have a great way to store it. I can't keep it from freezing in the winter. I don't have anything to heat it. Any method I would have to heat it would exceed the cost of the benefit of storing it. Plus, I have a hard time getting the trucks back here often enough where they could fill up at any meaningful rate. It would be nice if I could send them out with 50 gallons of DEF or whatever, but it's I'm struggling with that. We almost pulled the trigger and bought like 300 gallons of DEF last summer, but we couldn't find a way to make it practical. JD Jeff says, thought they passed a new law about that in Louisiana a few months back because of all of the staged accidents. I didn't know Louisiana was doing it like that. That must be a real problem down there. It's a problem everywhere. You see it all the time. How long will box DEF last before it goes bad, assuming it doesn't freeze? I don't know if DEF has a definite shelf life or not. It can freeze. It just has to unfreeze before you can pump it into your truck again. It freezes in your truck. It just gets thawed out again when your truck warms up and circulates warm coolant through the lines. It thaws it again, but it can freeze. Ryan says, kick the wife out of the bed, cuddle with a tote of DEF. Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. Put the tote of DEF in there and the dog, and pretty soon there's no room for me. Dutch says ECU can be programmed to disregard an empty DEF tank. You just would produce more NOx. Yes, it can be done. They let who was it? They let do it last year. Was it Cummins or Packard? They let Kenworth, I believe. So it must have been probably Packard. I don't know. They let them do it for a period of time, but hey, I have no grudge one way or another against deleting trucks. I just say, it's not if not done well, it's not a solve all. I know people that have had bad deletes done and destroy their engine. And that's the thing. How do you find a definite good one? Because it's all hush hush and people don't talk about it a lot. The fines are so stiff. It's not necessarily 100% fix all, and you don't want to get caught. You don't want to get caught. I don't have any deleted trucks. DEF is nothing but an extortion on hardworking truckers. Yeah, now what are they finding in California that DEF, all the truck stops have trees around that are dying because of the DEF exhaust. So now they're trying to go to something other than DEF, from what I've been told. Freezing doesn't hurt DEF. Sunlight and heat are DEF's enemy. Yeah, yep. Anybody know if DEF has a storage shelf life? I do not know that for sure. JD Jeff, what percent trucks delete? I don't know what percentage of trucks are deleted. We'll never know because nobody's smart will talk about it openly because you're opening yourself up to some stiff fines. DEF freeze is about the same temp as number 2 fuel gels, 14 to 15 degrees. Okay. Yeah, definitely don't put any additives in your DEF tank to keep it from freezing. You don't want to do that. You can destroy your truck. Although I'm kind of surprised. Nobody has come up with an additive for DEF yet. Where's Forrest Lucas when you need him? Come on. I don't think you would want to put any additives in there. That's a very particular fluid. DEF is up to 2 years, but over 70 degrees shortens in shelf life. Okay. I would have trouble storing it then because it gets pretty hot in the shed. So I'd have to find a way to keep it cooler in the summer and then keep it from freezing in the winter. That would be tough for me. I don't even have electricity in my shed yet. Living like a caveman. If you see smoke, you know it's true. Shpinzi says 1 year DEF storage. It seems to me it should be longer than that. It seems to me, but I don't know. Matthew Monsees says, I think that DEF is supposed to be able to store for 3 years. Okay, so we're getting anywhere from 1 to 3 years. Ooh, Nomadic Brits out in that 111 degree heat while pumping 4,800 gallons of defoamer. Damn. 111 degrees. That's hot. That's hot. Drink some water, man. Take care of yourself. Georgia Patriot. Okay, so he wants to give a test. He emailed me a while back. He put the fuel ox friction eliminator in his oil and sent me a picture of of his results before and after. And I was like, wow. He's showing a 1 mile per gallon difference. And I'll be the first to admit that is likely not typical. I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to get you a mile per gallon difference. That would be stretching it and irresponsible. But I mean, the guy showed me the pictures of his results, and I'm like, I'm wondering if you had some kind of issue there that maybe it's helping you sort out. So good on you for that. I'm glad you're still getting that results from it over a period of time. I tell you what, anybody with a Cummins that we've got to use that, uh, it something about the Cummins, it smooths that motor right out. Don't put it in a new engine. Don't put it in anything that ain't broke in. But people that use it with the Cummins, most all of them have nothing but good things to say about it. So definitely check it out and get 15% off with my promo code DIY Semi. Definitely. R. McGuire's in the house. Thanks for coming in, my man. Also, Cummins ISX with the friction eliminator. Loves it. Loves it. Geico used to say even a caveman can do it. So can you. All right. Gabriel says, what do I do if I want a 379 or 389, but you also say run efficiently? Any help besides going 45 miles per hour? Yeah, I mean, you can work on there's a lot you can work on with the hood trucks. Obviously, speed is the biggest, man. Got to overcome those aerodynamics, but if looks is important to you, there's some things you're probably not going to do. You're probably not going to alter the stacks or move those air cleaners or something like that. But those air cleaners and stacks are out there grabbing a whole bunch of wind. You got a fairing on top that matches the height of your trailer. That's a big one. If you got the flat top and you're pulling a van or a reefer, you're breaking that wind twice. Maybe you're finding a fairing to put up there. Low rolling resistance tires, synthetic lubricants. Like everybody else is saying, try the FuelOx products, man. Try it out. There's a lot you can work on. You got a high flow air filter, maybe like a K&N or a what the hell's the one that I got? A Fleet air filter. Tried one of those. That's a good improvement. Air tabs. Maybe you got some places on your truck you can fill some gaps or redirect some air around the back fairings of your trailer. Air tabs. Maybe you can slide that fifth wheel up a little bit, close that gap. That makes a big difference. We just did that to one of the Macs, and he says he gained a substantial difference. It was noticeable right off the bat, just by getting his fifth wheel up a lot closer. So, and some of those things are free. Sliding the fifth wheel, slowing down, but you should be able to get, I don't know, depending on the year or the engine, high sixes out of that, no problem. Hell, maybe even if you got the right pre-emissions engine, you might be over 7. I don't know. Chowplex is headed to New York City with a pork load. God bless you. R. McGuire, just like a haymow from back in the day. Yeah, 111 degrees, sweating your nuts off. Ryan says, did your driver get his Mac Anthem? I've been running full maintenance lease Anthem from Scafidi since 2018. He did not. Just kind of chilling with a paid off truck for a while, and really enjoying it, reaping the benefits of it. It's really helping not having that extra expense when fuel is $5.50 a gallon here now in Wisconsin. So, and then we're going to wait for prices to come down a little bit, I believe, and they're starting to. So, I don't know. Yeah, Scafidi tries to push that lease pretty hard, don't they? They're trying to push that on me. I'm like, man, my stuff's paid for. I can't bring myself to do it. Just not yet. I would. I'd probably buy one before I'd lease one, but I don't know. Maybe when prices come down, they'll come down on that lease. Tony says, I've bought Def in the box and had an expiration date on it. Okay, do you remember what the expiration date was, Tony? George Patriot says, seems quieter now too. I'm thinking there might have been a sticking valve or something. Cummins X15 with over 500,000 miles. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, the people with the Cummins are loving that. That DD15 is such a smooth damn engine. You ever walk around a truck stop and you walk past some of these trucks and you're like, I can barely, that thing doesn't even sound like a diesel. Is that, barely running. Those trucks are so smooth to begin with. Cummins not quite like that, but they put that friction eliminator in there and people are loving it. They loving it. Pneumatic Brit or Shop Fee says, Pneumatic Brit, how long did you go between oil changes? 50,000 miles? I don't know. Truck Diver, great news for me. I'm no longer using DEF. Awesome. Awesome. You're going to make a ton of, if we run out of DEF in this country, you're going to go out and make a ton of money. Maybe. If there's any damn thing to haul, right? Killian Strecken says, everyone you come on a live, I get damn string of phone calls. Actually going to pick up my truck now from the green APU place in Lamont. Check your fuel tanks before you leave. Make sure them pot lickers weren't the ones that stole your fuel. Come on. I'm busy says it increased my MPG also. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. I don't know. I'm mixed about that. I under promote it. I feel like sometimes feel like I talk about it too much, but from the feedback I get from people, I've only had 2 people not like it. One of them's in the chat. You know who you are. We've talked about it. We met. Not mad at him. Just didn't like it. Said it didn't know no outstanding results. And then another guy said no huge results of what I was expecting. I'm like, okay, cool. Nothing's gonna work for everybody, but a lot of people loving it. A lot of people starting to try that oil additive, the friction eliminator, and absolutely loving it. I mean, I like all their products. I brought one of my drivers in and I says, hey, I got this $30 tube of grease here. I had bought it back when it was still, they lowered the price on it now. I think with the discount, I think it's down to like $18 or something. I think it's like $20 a tube, whatever. I says, you want to be a guinea pig and try this grease? He's like, what the hell? So we greased his truck with it, and the first week out, he's like, this freaking thing, it's smoother. It rides better, it's quieter, it handles better. I'm like, okay, all right, well that makes sense. So he's a fan of that. And the spray lube is freaking remarkable. I'm a fan of all the products. I'll use them, long after I don't talk about them. Pneumatic Brit getting lots of sensor issues on my Cascadia. Your vid on the OTR performance tool. You definitely like that, as I need something to help me out. Yeah, I mean, we like the OTR performance. We have a few guys using them, but it doesn't have to be the OTR performance. If you come across, there's other tools out there. If they can get you where you can read your codes and clear them, obviously I still say don't go playing diesel mechanic with it, but it's a great tool to learn about your truck and maybe get you out of a pickle, keep you off a tow truck. But I'm a big fan. If I'm out on the road driving an emissions truck, I will have some kind of tool in there. In my orange Freightliner, probably not. If I get a code, it's most likely a coolant sensor, a low coolant or a boost sensor. Not too many things shut that thing down. But an emissions truck, I'm having some kind of a code reading tool on there. And the OTR, it fit the bill pretty good. The one has a monthly subscription. The other one didn't. So whichever one fits your needs the best. But there are other, hell, you can get, if you got a laptop, you can get dealer level software. It's probably more expensive. But I just kind of put that out there as a thought of, hey, have something. Definitely. Because I tell you what, too, you keep yourself off a tow truck, but you could also keep yourself out of the shop, keep your truck from sitting in the shop for a month. Oh, this is getting ridiculous. Every time a damn truck goes to the shop anymore, it's a month, And the one time they got him so bad for a $150 part, it was just criminal, just absolutely criminal. Oh, Mark Cerrone's in here. He says, "Yo, getting ready to go fly around. Awesome. Where are you going on an aeroplane there, Mark? Going on one of them vacations?" Nomadic Brit says, "I change my oil every month as I do it myself, so it's filter and oil stabilizer comes in about $180. That's a pretty cheap oil change. Pretty cheap. Definitely." Kellyan's Trucking says, "The fuel was stole out of the loaner truck I was given Well, my truck was at the shop. Boss filled it to the rim and told me to just replace what I used. 6 hours later, the TA incident happened. Damn it, boy. Damn it, boy. 180 bucks. Oil change. Yep, that's what he said. I bought some. I know oil shortages. Earlier this year, I bought some barrels of oil to keep in the shed because we're starting to see some empty shelves and that prices going up. So I went and bought 3 drums of oil. I bought 2 drums of 1540 and 1 drum of 1030. Almost. And then one of my drivers bought himself a drum of 1540. So we're almost 1 barrel through, 1 barrel in on that. And if I'm gonna check if the price didn't go up, I might buy another barrel. I don't know. And then I recycle my old oil here at where I live. We got a recycling place. Nomadic Brit says Walmart will take your old oil for free. Yes. Around me here, the AutoZone will take it also. He says he's changing his oil at 12,000 miles a month. Okay. Truck Diver says I can pick out each engine by noise now. DD15 is the quietest by far unless it has a bad fuel metering valve. I can pick those out every time. Gives them that loping growl. Yeah, I used to be able to walk through the truck stop and tell you what each engine was by listening to it, but man, not anymore. The new ones just sound so different to me. It's hard to tell them apart. You could always tell an old 60 series when it had an injector starting to go bad. It had that loping, and it was a very, very particular sound. And then the N14 had a very distinctive sound too. Bully Dog, yep, Bully Dog has a tuner. I had a Bully Dog tuner years ago. Was it 2009, 2010, and gave me some issues. I was kind of mad about it, but I don't know. I'm sure things have changed a lot, a whole lot. Shop Fee says, "Oh dang, I prefer full synthetic. Change it every 30,000 miles, but I get my filters changed every 15 with Rotella T6." Okay. Ryan says the Scafidi lease isn't a good idea for load board truck. Customer freight, it's great because of the uptime and getting priority when you need parts and service. Yeah, they do have I'll tell you what, they do have a good service department there. We go there. It's our preferential spot now. They're 24 hours also. Excuse me. With both feet says my DD15 used to hunt for idle, put in fuel ox, and it smoothed out immediately. Cool. Or you getting more complete combustion. It's probably what it's doing there. Georgia Patriot says, "Where did you find enough T6 for an oil change?" Shop Fees. That is hard to find by me. Also, the hardware stores don't have it. The Walmart doesn't have it. So lately I've been compromising and take what I can get. Yep. Big problem is finding oil. Ooh, Mark Sharoni says, "Private plane. I ain't running. Rates aren't right, but the weather's perfect." Damn it, boy. Private plane. You flying that? You must be a pilot. So I can't imagine you got that kind of you rolling around like that where you can go out and charter a private plane. If you can, damn it, boy. Good for you. Nomadic Brit says, "Been down 3 weeks. Finally got out under 1 load and more code problems. So heading home again." Britt, will Schneider work on your truck for you? Wondering that, because that's a pretty good upside resource for leasing onto a carrier like that. If they'll work on your truck for you, do you get a discounted shop rate? Is there a kind of limit to the things they'll do? Just kind of wondering, because they've seen thousands of that same truck, thousands of them. Shop Fees, Georgia Patriot. I bought 120 gallons of T6 early last year. It was expensive, $28 a gallon. I still got about 40 gallons left. Ooh. Mark Cerrone going to come get me sometime. Can fly over to the island. I might be over your cargo capacity, sir. How are we going to distribute that weight? Oh, man. Truck Diver says, "Bully Dog woke up my DD15. Throttle response was instant, pulled like a beast. Awesome." Yeah, I had it on an old series, a 14-liter Series 60 with the EGR. It led me to have to put injector cups in it twice. I think it was increasing the cylinder pressures too much. Changing the injection timing from the way I understand the way it worked. Shop fee says made too much money last year, had to spend it before Uncle Sam took it all. Yeah, hey, 140 gallons of oil or 120 gallons of oil was a much better investment than chrome toggle switches. I'll tell you that, because you're still benefiting from it. Good on you. Good spend, my friend. Yeah, I bought some tires before the end of the year. Most T6 I've seen in one place at a time in the last 6 months was 2 1-gallon jugs. Woof. Yeah, I'm busy. Switched to Mobile 1. Okay. B. Saunders says, is Rotella 1540 good for 20,000 miles, non-synthetic? You should probably more likely go by your engine manufacturer. I run a, you could run a bypass filter also. Stretch that out even further. Mark Cerrone's got a Cessna. Flying's your hobby. Okay, cool. I have some family members that do that. Chris Bryant, thanks for stopping in. Ryan says, oil changes, shop fees. I don't understand these struggles. Yeah, that's what you get with that full service lease. That's what you get. Envy says, Harvest King oil from Atwood's tests better than Rotella and most popular brands if you go to the National Oil Institute website. Okay. Harvest King, is that that oil you get from Rural King? That it's a hardware store chain in the Midwest. Rural King, Rural. Is that where you're getting that? Mark Cerrone bought that Cessna at the last downturn. I generally buy things like trucks, trailers, and planes when deals are good. Okay. Well, you're probably coming up on some deals here pretty soon, Mark. Probably some good deals. I know I'm going to wait a while and start looking, probably. Maybe make some upgrades. Nomadic Brit says company trucks have priority over contractors at Schneider. $80 per hour is a shop charge. That's pretty good, but my local shop, Atlanta, will not supply any contractors as they're trying to keep company drivers going. Interesting. Interesting. $80 an hour is pretty good shop rate, though. As long as they have full capabilities, you don't want them sitting there $80 an hour scratching their heads, wondering what I should do next. But I'm sure they're probably not like that. Let's check the email here, see if the paperwork's in yet on these loads. Not yet. Not yet. Kill a little more time. Georgia Patriot says, Nomadic Brit, are you based out of Atlanta? I live in Roswell. You're both down there in that too hot for me area. Matthew says, Harvest King oil is sold at Baumgars. Oh, okay. I've never seen Harvest King oil. Says, I was at Sydney, Nebraska, Baumgars yesterday, and they had pallets of 1540. Okay. A hardware chain around me here sells oil it's farm rated. Oh, that's actually what it's called. It's called farm rated. I don't know if I would put that in my truck because the modern truck oils are I think they probably got a little different additive package in them than tractor oil or implement oil to handle soot and ash. Different needs, but I'd be interested to see I'm gonna look at that Harvest King oil and look at the testing on it. That's pretty interesting. I'd not even heard of that before. Killian's is down in Georgia there too, so we got a big following down Georgia way. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna have to wrap it up here. I gotta get back to work and get some loads booked, but just wanted to check in here. Had a little bit of time, and talk about Connecticut's got they're in your back pocket, trying to rob you blind, along with everybody else. But everybody, take care, and we'll see you next time.